facts don't quite come up to the level of appreciation and praises that I thought I'd think about two of my mentors, sort of indirectly or directly over the years. I always thought who were good at communicating things. One was Bill Clinton, and the other was my father, Doug Singleton. You know, Bill Clinton was famous during one of his campaigns for his phrase that says, it's all about the economy, stupid. And I love that phrase that, because it was Carrie and I, she said she's afraid to admit we worked together for a number of years. And we were talking about, how do you change the world? What is it that you can do to really change the world? And we talked about, well, is it venture investing? Is it putting capital behind successful business models? And what we came to conclude was that it really was a case of leaders are the secret sauce that makes a difference. When you look at really any significant change, it can be a political leader, it can be an economic, it can be a business leader, but leaders are the transformational ingredient. And if you took leaders and you combined it with social purpose and a social business or construct, if you could grow leaders whose purpose was to change the world, that might well be the formula for actually having very outsized impact. But when you look around tonight, and you hear about 10 million people impacted, hundreds of leaders, thousands of supporters, thousands of jobs, that whole notion that building leaders, I would submit, has been pretty well proven out. The other conclusion we had was that if you take an experienced exec and a young leader, we'll define young later, with high potential and great natural abilities and purpose, you put those two together. I used to work in Pennsylvania at a chocolate town. He always talked about when the person carrying the peanut butter ran into the person who made the chocolate, and they created peanut butter cups. The connection was far more powerful than either one itself. And so we took this idea and said, why don't we create something that would be a combination, not of peanut butter and chocolate, but of experiential seasoned leaders, young, high potential, high skill, high purpose young leaders. What could you get from them if you accelerated that development, particularly if they were leading social businesses, social businesses that were poised to grow and scale in the immediate future? That was the birth of the Global Good Fund. Which leads me to my second communication specialist, my dad, Doug Singleton. When I was about the age of my two sons who are here tonight, Dash and Jack and Simmons, who, by the way, I would put, and I'm biased, but I would put them in this category, are very high potential young leaders who were very purposeful and have lots of skills. So, like my dad, was investing in me, but he did it in a strange way. Because he said, one day I said, Dad, what do you think I'll be doing in the future? He said, looked at me kind of around a little bit, didn't meet my eyes, and said, well, in your case, son, I think it's better to be lucky than smart. I'm not really sure what he meant by that. But I've come to find out that over the years, he was right. Because to be lucky, you can take an idea, but if you weren't lucky, restaurants and patio ground. And I'm leaving people out of my policies, but you weren't lucky enough to attract that kind of talent and purpose to help shepherd the organization. You weren't lucky enough to get the kinds of fellows that we and the applicants in the came to us saying, empower us, accelerate our lives, help us be incredible in-time players. We have a vision that's this big. Can you help us? Can you support us? We're not for all those people, and perhaps most importantly, those like you in this room who came forward and provided resources, who said, I'll sponsor a fellow. I will invest in a capital or venture investment. Businesses need leadership, they also need capital. So over the years, it has been those donors, those supporters, those fellows, those board members. Maybe even more important, those individuals who are mentors, who stepped up and said, well, what's the pay for this job? I'm sure Terry would say, okay, I'm in, I'll do it. And mentored and invested in these fellows and brought out the true greatness that you heard to them. Not made for TV, this is real. These are real writers who saw these people. They know their purpose, they know their mission, they know how to get there. All they need is a little rock to get all those support. With that, let me just say the following. Thank you for being here. I can't believe that what you started 2 years ago is what it is today. And then, as I said, that'll be lucky this time.